Hey, what's up, guys? Big Netty here. Huge trade went down a couple of days ago. Jimmy Butler has been traded from Minnesota to the 76ers for Robert Covington and Dario Saric. If we look at this from the Minnesota side, I think it was a good move for them. Um, Robert Covington is basically replacing Jimmy Butler's position, being that 3 and D guy, shooting 40% from three, which they need more spacing on the team than Dario Saric. He struggled this year. He's shooting 36% from the field, 30% from three. A lot of that has to do with him playing international ball this summer. He looks fatigued. His game is reflecting that. Now, if we look at it from this perspective, I think Karl-Anthony Towns benefits the most from this trade because, him and Jimmy Butler didn't have the best relationship. Neither did Andrew Wiggins. And so I think with Jimmy Butler gone, they'll have the ball in their hands more. They don't have to worry about Jimmy Butler, calling them soft, doing all of his antics he did at the beginning of the year, and they'll just be able to play their game and, not have to think too hard. And it also, they just have a lot of more spacing now, I would say. If Dario Saric can start hitting perimeter shots, I think you want to start him. Put Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5, put Dario at the 4, bring Gibson as the first big man off the bench. I think Robert Covington will play that shooting guard position, and then you'll have Wiggins obviously at the 3. And at the point guard position, Derrick Rose has been playing well this year. Still have Jeff Teague over there, and then Tyus Jones. So I think this team is a lot better. I think if Derrick Rose continues to hit perimeter shots, that will definitely open up the floor even more. He's always been an inconsistent shooter, so we'll have to see. But I think Minnesota did good with this trade. I think they could have did better. Especially if the Heat, I think they were offering in the summer, Josh Richardson, which he's been balling this year. He's a 3 and D guy who can also kind of set up his teammates and find his own shot also. Just not at an all-star level, but he can play. But I think what Minnesota got is good. Now, I think on the Philly side, this is a smart move. Jimmy Butler is Robert Covington, times 10. Because Jimmy Butler is a 3 and D guy, but he can create his own shot. Hit the 3 off the dribble. Mid-range game. He can post up a little bit. Play in the pick and roll. And I think giving up Dario Saric, he's not playing well this season. He wasn't providing much spacing this year anyway. So, I don't think they lost a lot there. And, we'll see if he'll improve his play this year. I think Philly is going to have issues with the rotation. Who plays where? Who gets what minutes? Do you give TJ McConnell more minutes? I don't know if that's going to work. Wilson Chandler's coming back, so they need more shooting. He'll bring that. The rookie Shamet, he's been playing well. So continue to give him minutes. JJ Redick is obviously going to slide up into the starting position, I would assume, at the 2 guard. Markelle, what do you do with Markelle? I think they might have to explore trading Markelle Fultz. He's a solid playmaker, can do things off the dribble, but playing him and Ben Simmons together, unless you put him in that 6-man role, I don't know what he does for that starting unit, because Ben Simmons has the ball in his hands, and if Ben Simmons doesn't have it in his hands, then it's a Joel Embiid post up. And if you leave him in the starting level with Jimmy Butler now, he really, defenses are just going to leave him open and load up on Jimmy Butler, Joel, and Ben. And he's going to have a lot of open shots, but he hasn't shown the ability to knock it down. So, I think you might have to look at exploring the trade with him. You're going to get some maybe two guys in who can shoot the ball, play a little defense, I think they would fit way better with the team. Again, they don't really have a lot of depth on that bench, but that three-headed monster, that might be the best three-headed monster in the Eastern Conference. I mean, you look at the top tier teams, the Bucks, the Raptors. The Bucks obviously have Giannis, Bledsoe is playing well, Brook Lopez is shooting it, but that's not better than the big three Philly has. Look at Boston, Kyrie, Jason Tatum. I mean, who's their third best guy? Would you say Gordon Hayward? He's been playing poor. Al Horford, not the best start. Jaylen Brown. Who's their third best guy? I think, in terms of firepower, Philly has the best team in the East. But overall, I still don't see them beating Boston or Toronto in the playoffs. You can't. I mean, unless you're going to play, Ben Simmons, Joel, and Jimmy Butler 48 minutes in the whole series. I mean, you have to rest them at some point. And that's where Toronto, you can go 10-11 deep with Fred off the bench, CJ Miles. Serge Ibaka's playing well. They're just a deep team. Then if you look at Boston, obviously they're a deep team with Morris and Rozier coming off that bench. So I think in a 7-game series, they still lose against either of those teams. But I think if they make some moves during the season to add some depth to the team, then we'll really have a conversation. I still think they're the third best team in the East. I think the best team in the East right now is the Raptors. The Bucks are number 2 right now. Boston would be 4th right now. I would take Philly over Boston right now in terms of the regular season. But again, and when the playoffs start, if Boston can figure it out, they're definitely the clear-cut number 1 teams. But I'm just speaking of currently, I think Boston is about the 4th best team in the East. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And Big Netty, I'm out.